everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good. In today's video I'm doing the new mum tag that was started by Emily Norris. I've been tagged in this by quite a few different people, so I thought it was about time that I just went ahead and did it. If you are new to my channel or you don't know me, I am Courtney. This is so awkward introducing yourself. I am a mum of two. I have a daughter who has just turned 8 and I have a son who is 5, will be 6 next month. That is crazy that I'm going to have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. It just freaks me out. Yeah, so I've been a mum for a little while now, so I feel like, I don't know, actually, I still don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. We're all just going with the flow, aren't we, really? But yeah, I'm going to answer these questions the best that I can. Let's hope that there's no, like, advice questions, because I cannot give advice. I have no advice for you. No, I'll try. So the first question is your favourite mum hack. When I read this, I had to really think about it, because I'm not a hacky kind of person. I don't really have very good hacks. A hack's going to be for people with older kids rather than babies. So both of my kids are at school now, and you get so much rubbish sent home from school. Like, there's loads of letters about school trips, there's stuff they've got to bring in, party invitations, just a load of crap, really. And it used to just come out of their bag and then sit on the side, and it would just pile up, and I'm like, where's that letter about this school trip that you're meant to be going on? I just would have no idea. So I bought like this little cork board. You'll know what a cork board is. And now whenever I get a letter, what I should do really is look at it straight away and fill it out. The first thing I do is I put it on this cork board, and then every evening, like before, when the kids are in bed, I'll look on the cork board and just check like what I've got to do, or if I've got to bring anything in from the next day, if there's like a parents' evening or school trip or something. So yeah, that is my hack. Just get a cork board and stick everything on it, and then check it every evening so you know what's going on. Was that a rubbish hack? The second one is most embarrassing mum moment. There's a lot of embarrassing like toilet moments, like when the kids come in the toilet with you, and maybe it's that time of the month and they'll be like, what's wrong with you, mum? Like, why are you bleeding? That used to happen a lot, and I had to explain to them really early about periods, because they just would always want to be in the bathroom with me. So yeah, when it was that time and it looked like a massacre, is this gross? Then yeah, I just had to explain to them that it's okay, that's what happens with women. It's very sad for us because we have to do it every month. Anyway, so that I guess it's not embarrassing because it's only you and your child, so it's not embarrassing. But sticking with the toilet theme, an embarrassing moment would be when you're in the toilet with your child, in a public toilet, and they open the door to get out before you're finished. Like, that's happened to me a couple times. It's not fun. Number 3 is, what part of the day do you love the most? The best part of my day is sitting at the dinner table where we can all just relax and talk about a day. We do this thing, we try and do it every day, where I'll say to them what has been the worst part of your day and then what has been the best part of your day. So when they tell me their worst part, we kind of talk about it and how maybe we could have made that better. And then when they tell me their best part, it just brings up like a new conversation, and yeah, and it's just a good way to get talking, I think, at the dinner table. The next question is, what part of the day do you like the least? Now, I am a sleepy person. Like, I love my sleep, so I'm going to have to just say waking up. Like, I know that sounds bad because I should be waking up and thinking, yeah, I'm ready for the day, woo! But I hate waking up because I like to sleep, so I'm just going to say that. First thing someone said to you when you were pregnant. The first thing that came into my mind was when my great nan called me fat. She was a very honest lady. Yeah, and that wasn't very nice, because then I thought, am I actually fat? Like, I thought maybe I just looked pregnant, but now I'm thinking, do I actually look fat and pregnant? So that wasn't great. But I was quite young when I was pregnant, so it wasn't so much what people said, it was kind of what I thought people might be saying behind my back, but then I didn't know, so I was probably just being paranoid. Number 6 is baby name you didn't agree on. So we didn't agree on Ava, spelt with an A, because my daughter's name is Ava, but it's spelt with an E because it's the Argentinian spelling of it, like Evita. Who's seen Evita? Which means little Ava. And in Spain and places like that, they would see it spelled EVA and they would say Ava, because that's just the way that it's supposed to be pronounced in there. But I did worry about it. I did worry, obviously, that she would be called Eva, because that is how English people would pronounce EVA, but it does have a little accent on her name, so hopefully when people see it they do recognise that maybe it's not going to be Eva. I like to call her Eva, I call her Avie, she has lots of different nicknames, but yeah, we didn't agree on the name being spelt with an A, and now looking back I'm quite glad it's not spelt with an A. It just makes it a little bit different. And then another name is, I really liked Esme, but Zach wasn't keen on that. I'm very happy with her name now, so I'm glad that we did go for it the way it is spelled. Number 7 is, do you co-sleep? So obviously my children are older now. We don't really sleep with them in their beds. It's only if they wake up in the night and they'll get in bed with us, and if they're not well we'll sleep in bed with them. So I guess the answer to that is no, and we never really did co-sleep. The only time that they was in our beds as babies is if it was like a bad night and they were up a lot, and then we'd be like, just put them in bed with us. But they were really good. They would just sleep in their Moses basket when they were little tiny babies, and then they went into their cot when they were a few months old. They've always been really good at just sleeping in their beds. Not that I don't agree with co-sleeping, like I love the thought of them being really close to you, especially when they're little. It's just, as I said before, like I do love my sleep, and I feel like if they were there next to me, I wouldn't be able to sleep as well. Does that sound really selfish? But they were in their Moses basket right next to our bed for a really long time, so I kind of felt really close to him still anyway, and I could still sleep peacefully. I don't like any noise when I'm sleeping. Like if Zach makes the tiniest little noise, I'm like, shut up. I need to sleep. Okay, question number 8 is something you bought but never used. I think that would be dummies. I bought packs of dummies thinking like just in case I might need them, but my kids never ever took to dummies. They were just not a fan of them. Ava sucked her thumb up until she was about 6. It's only the last year or so that she stopped sucking her thumb. And Leo just was not interested in a dummy at all, and he never sucked his thumb. So question number 9 is 3 hospital bag must-haves, and for me that would be massive knickers, like really big comfy knickers, slippers or big socks, because you don't want bare feet, do you? And the next one would be a bobble, because, or a hairband. Sometimes people don't know what I mean when I say bobble. But yeah, because you just don't want all your hair sweaty like in your face. Of my labours, my mum was with me too, and she put like just a really tight French plait in my hair, so then it was just like out of my face. Yeah, that would be my 3. Number 10, are you a routine mum or a go with the flow mum? And what does bedtime look like? Yeah, so from the beginning I was always quite a routine mum, and that comes down to, again, just like in my sleep. So I thought that it was important to get a really good bedtime routine. I wanted to know that it got to a certain time, and like I knew that they would go down to sleep quite well. So yeah, for when they were babies I was definitely a routine mum. Now I'm quite go with the flow like in every other aspect, but with bedtime I'm still a routine mum. Did you answer what bedtime looks like? Bedtime just looks like, it's pretty chilled actually. Go up, I will read Ava a story, or she'll read me one now, and then Zach will be in with Leo just talking about football or something, and then we swap over, and then I'll play with Leo for a bit, just give him a cuddle, and Zach will go say goodnight to Ava. So that is what our bedtime looks like. And then now, because Ava is getting older, she will sometimes sit up and read a couple chapters of a book and then just fall asleep naturally. So yeah, that is what bedtime looks like. It's a pretty chilled out kind of time. Number 11 is, what type of labour did you have? What pain relief did you choose? So I was quite lucky with both of them. With Ava, I was in labour for 6 hours. It was pretty textbook. Like my waters broke, we went to the hospital, and I don't think I was dilated enough the first time, so then I come home and then my contractions got really strong, went to the hospital, and then I was like 5-6 centimetres, and it all just happened really quickly, so I didn't necessarily need any pain relief, so I didn't have any. With Leo it was really quick, that was only 3 hours, and with Leo I started getting contractions the night before but kind of tried to sleep through them as much as I could, and then I woke up in the morning at like 4, probably 4 or 5 in the morning, and then they were really, really strong. So we went to hospital when I was already 4-5 centimetres dilated. But like both of my labours, I had back labour, so all my contractions were in my back. So the midwife said to get in the bath, which was amazing, because then I got like this massive room all to myself. There's like a big jacuzzi bath in the corner, so nice. So yeah, I got into the pool and then I had him within a couple hours. So I didn't have to have any pain relief for Leo either. So I think I was just lucky because they were quick. If there would have been long labours, and I probably would have asked for pain relief, but I feel like because they were so short, I didn't have the chance to say, like, give me pain relief. Obviously it was still painful. Like, don't think just because they were quick that it wasn't painful. With Leo especially, because where it was so quick, it was so intense. Like, there was no break between the contractions. It was just like boom, 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 and it was so painful. I remember thinking when I was in labour with Leo that there is not a chance in hell that I'm having another child, because I just couldn't bear to go through that pain again. Number 12 is, have you ever been mum shamed? And I think I have to say no, like, not to my face, maybe behind my back all the time, but never to my face. No one's ever insulted me about my parenting techniques to my face. So number 13 is the biggest challenges you've faced since becoming a mum. There's been quite a few, if I'm being honest. I could do a whole video just on that. When I was pregnant with Ava, Zach and I weren't together, so the biggest challenge I had then was kind of coming to terms with having to be a single mum. I think I spoke about that a few times before. That was quite a hard time in my life. I still lived with my mum. That was a big challenge, just kind of coming to terms with thinking that I was going to be a single mum. And I was a single mum for the first 9 months of Ava's life. Zach was a massive part of it still, but technically I was a single mum. And then when I had Leo, I wouldn't say I had postnatal depression, but I definitely felt very low, and I spoke about that a few times before. So that was a big challenge, just overcoming the having 2 children quite young, and I felt very, very lonely. I think the biggest challenge would just be like loneliness. Both times when, like, after I had the kids, is just the loneliest I've ever felt. It's just not feeling like you've got no one to turn to, even though most of the time you have. You still feel very isolated because no one can go inside your head with you. Like, you are there alone. You can tell people how you feel, but they're not always going to understand. So it's just dealing with them feelings by yourself, and the loneliness and like the isolation of having a newborn baby. The tone of this video has really gone downhill. 14 is the best bit of advice you've been given, or the biggest piece of advice you would give let me start again. The best bit of advice you've ever been given, and the biggest piece of advice you would give a new mum. So I think the best bit of advice I've been given is, I don't know if it's advice though, but it's just to not underestimate like the job that you're doing and how like hard it is. Because I think a lot of the time you just go about your day not really thinking about the things that you're actually doing, and really when you sit and think about it, like, you're doing a lot. Like, Zach says that to me a lot, like, it just says don't underestimate how much you're doing and how much the kids appreciate it, because if you wasn't to be doing it, then who else is going to do it? Just all these little things that you do that you think that don't really matter, they really do, because if you didn't do it, then who else is going to do them? That is a good bit of advice that I would give as well. So I've kind of done a 2-in-1 then. The last one is, who's your mum crush and who do you tag? So a lot of people, my mum crushes have already tagged me, so I don't know who's left to tag. I'm going to tag Sophie Nicole Dobson, who I have followed on Instagram for a long time, and she just recently started up her YouTube channel. Yeah, she's really lovely, and I think that she would be great at doing this tag. She's got a little bubba. The next person is Zara Bird, who is Mother Bird Blog on YouTube. I'm not sure if she would have been tagging it, she might have, but I've tagged you as well, sorry. And the next one is Sammy Dudley. Again, you might have been tagging it, so I'm sorry. That is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd love if you would give it a little thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, so you don't miss any of my other videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.